Hey, how you doing? You're looking great, by the way. What is up, y'all? It's your boy, as it has always been, your boy Easy Reg, back in the mix, giving you another episode of, I almost said giving you another episode of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, but that's not what I'm doing, first off. But coming back at you hot yet again with another, super chill Saturday, Sunday. Actually, I think I might get this out on a Saturday this time. Because I am recording this a little bit earlier in the week. So that's nice. Hope you all are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm sorry to hear that. That really is mega stinky doo-doo, TBH. And I'm also kind of right there with you. I've been doing this thing recently. I'm going to hop into the map. I'm going to play Kino and just get the high rounds, or at least try to just get high rounds, because that's really the goal here. I'm not really trying to break world records or whatever. I'm just kind of here to vibe, right? But anyway, continuing with what I was saying earlier, I've been doing this thing where I have tried to summarize my day in or really my mood rather, via like a scale of 0 to 10. 10 being I'm on cloud 9, no pun intended. And I'm living my best. I'm living my life like it's golden. Whereas 0 is like every part of me doesn't want to be alive right now. TBH, I've been, throughout this entire week, I've kind of been juggling between like 2 through 4. I'm okay. I'm not like a threat to myself or anything like that. So please, don't worry if anybody was worrying, but I'm okay. I don't know. Things just felt like mega stinky poo-poo doo-doo. You know how it be. Like sometimes your day feels like poggers, and sometimes your day feels like cringe. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you be based, and sometimes you just be cringe. I don't make up the rules, I just live by them. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I decided to record today, because I was like, you know what, I just want to, like, speak this truth. Because I have a very strong feeling, and I'm probably right, that I'm not the only one who feels this way. So, I just kind of wanted to, not really speak it into the ether and be like, everybody else should feel bad. It's more like man, things suck, you know? Things suck, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about our feelies, because that's important. So yeah, I felt blah, you know? Oh boy, I missed a lot, didn't I? Oh well, that's fine. I've just kind of felt blah. That's the best way to describe it. Like, it's, you know, it's just, that's the best way to describe it, but I think, you know, to get a little bit deeper into it instead of I just felt blah, because it sounds like I'm just like, oh, well, you know, nothing's wrong, but everything's wrong, you know what I mean? But in reality, really what I'm trying to kind of get at, I guess, is, this week I what was I gonna say? This week I had a strange realization, right? I had a strange realization about, like, kind of just, you know, why my mood was the way it is, and why I'm feeling the way I am feeling. And part of that realization is, the things that used to be very fun for me are no longer fun for me. They're almost like laborious chores. And let me go into a little bit of detail because maybe you're feeling the same way. So I've never shied away from this before on, you know, Late Channel, but I am an actor. Oh man. Ooh. I'm an actor on the. I'm not booing myself. I'm booing box placement, which is. Jesus. Oh, please. No more. Need a new weapon. Oh, okay. Okay, streamer. What the Pharaoh though? Ew, Pharaoh. I just buy my way over there. I don't know why I'm like fucking wasting my time. But to kind of go into, I guess, detail about, you know, my revelation, it's that I realized that my daily routine for the past couple of days, weeks, whatever, is that I wake up, I go to work, I wake up, I get dressed, I go to work, I work for about 7.5 hours, I come back home via train, and then I work on actor theater stuff, whether that be learning lines, tweaking my headshot, my resume, you know, working on my audition book in some way, shape, or form, etc., right? And then I go to bed, and I do it again. I wake up, I go to work, I come back home, and then I work on the channel. And I do whatever work that needs to be done on the channel, and I go to bed, and I wake up the next morning, and same thing, go to work, come back home, and then I do some menial task around my apartment, like, you know, whether that be cleaning something, whether that be taking care of, you know, something that needs to be taken care of, etc., and then I go to bed. Really, what I'm trying to get at, you know what, I'm not gonna explain that out here, but like, you know, you all are smart people. You all are smart people. You're probably like, oh, you're not really, I don't know, the balance between your work and fun is gone. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly it. Like, there's that puff of smoke glitch again. If you haven't watched any of my other videos where you see this puff of smoke, there it is again, which you should totally go back and watch my other videos, and I'm offended you haven't. It's okay, I don't watch my own videos, it's fine, don't worry about it. I'm not upset at all, gamer. You have not angered the gods. The gods are not upset. The vibes are fine. Don't even worry about it. But you know, you're all smart people. Yeah, I'm gonna go out there and say it. My audience is smart. Big smart. Large brains only. Anyway, you'll probably realize that there's not a lot of room of fun in my week in any way, shape, or form. And I'd like to take the time to say, yeah, you're right. There isn't a lot of fun in my week. It's mainly just work, you know, and I think it's funny, I preach this whole thing and I'm like, oh, well, you know, you should have fun, enjoy your life, yada, yada, yada. But here I am being the fullest hypocrite, known to man. You know what? I'm not the fullest hypocrite known to man. There are probably worse. You know, like, I don't know, fucking Jeff Bezos or fucking Elon Musk or whatever. Or maybe I'm just upset at them because, you know, rich man goes space instead of fix poverty or whatever, or give his workers better wages, whatever. I'm just upset. But, you know, there's some times where I feel like I'm a hypocrite because I'm like, oh, you know, you should enjoy your life, you know, kick back, relax, vibe streamer, you know. But like, on the other hand, I'm like, my anxiety is strong enough to power all, like, the entire island of New York. Sorry, the entire island of New York City for like 3 days. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, like, and truly, I wish I was joking when I said that, but like, truly, I'm anxiety incarnate. If you've ever met me, like, if you ever know who I am, TM, you're kind of like, oh boy, this guy. Ooh, ray gun. Why did I grab this? I don't actually want this though, and I can't. Man, I gotta use this stinky ass ray gun. It smells of butts. It's got fart juice in it. It's gross. Whatever, it's fine. I guess it's fine. But yeah, so I guess, you know, the moral of the story is, I'm a hypocrite. I'm not having fun, like, a lot through my week, and most of my week is just work, and really no play. Like, no time, not no time to enjoy. I think it's more of I don't make time to enjoy. So if you feel like your life is kind of in the same position where you're like kind of in a rut where, you know, you go to work, you do your thing, you come back from work, and you work on your goals and your hopes and dreams, but you don't feel like you're either going anywhere or really having fun, take a look at your life. Take a look at your choices. Take a step back. Be like, mayhaps how I fix, you know? Because and granted, there's no easy fix to these kinds of things. It's just kind of like, well, I'm just trying to do my best, but I don't really know, you know, one, how to fix this, two, how to be in a better position, or I don't know, whatever, you know. But even though I am a hypocrite, something I think about like all the time is that, you know, our lives, we live very short lives, but like the lives that we live are full of so many stressors and so many like worries and so many concerns, and like, oh, how am I going to do this and how am I going to do that, and like, you know, like planning for our dreams instead of just doing, you know what I mean? Because we're so afraid of like risk. We're so afraid of risk. Because, you know, there's the idea of like, what happens if you fail? You know what I mean? Like there's that idea like, oh shit, if I fail, like I don't get what I want. I don't get what I wanted, and then I spent all that effort and resources for nothing, really. Where is this last zombie? Hello? Hello, zombie. I am a tasty little morsel. I can lay down for you if you want. Do a little pose. Maybe in this little corner. Oh, there you are. I found you. But so, like, you know, we live our lives so cautiously, and I think it's important, you know, to discern what is a smart risk and what is a not so smart risk. But like, some of the things that we don't really think about is like, you know, our lives are really 60 to 80 years. Who the fuck knows what's going to happen? No one does. You know, like, who knows where we are going to be within the next couple of years? We never know, but we're so, I don't know, we're so afraid, so hesitant, so not anti-risk, but almost just like so hesitant about, you know, what is coming, because we don't know. There's that uncertainty that comes, and you're like, I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm afraid that I won't like what's on the other side. And you have no idea what's on the other side, first off. So why not just, I don't know, peep what's on the other side, and like, hey, if you hate it, you hate it. But at least now you know, you know? I don't know. But anyway, I've been feeling like poopy. You know, I've been working, all the time, and all work and no play makes homie bruh a dull boy. I think that's the phrase. Yeah. There's definitely some part about homie bruh. Oh, I didn't mean to touch that nuke. I thought it was not a nuke. Oh, but oh well. It's fine. It's fine. It's all good. So yeah, I almost invite, you know, I took some time, you know, especially while I was at work, because I have a little calendar at work, and I took some time to kind of mark off. Ooh, sorry. Again, it's late. But I took a little time to mark off on my calendar, hey, these are the day, like, you know, on that scale of 1 to 10, or sorry, 0 to 10, like, how am I feeling? And I would mark off, like, you know, here's how I'm feeling today. And then there will be times where, like, if I'm feeling different, or if I feel better during the week, or even during that day, I'll like, okay, well, readjust that number, you know, to count for, hey, something really cool or something exciting happened, or I feel like loads better, you know what I mean? Instead of like, oh, I feel like poopy stinky poopy doo doo, you know what I mean? So I wound up writing it down at work, and like being able to write it down and just be able to see like almost the trend of like how I felt, you know, to start the week down and then to kind of just be in that down place. And I was like, man, what's wrong? You know, and it sucks because I also kind of think about all this stuff, and I'm like, man, it really sucks that like I am so down, you know what I mean? Like so consistently down. Because I feel like, you know, then it's like, oh man, well, I feel like I'm just a big fucking sourpuss all the time, every day. Like, maybe this is just who I am now. And it sucks because I've never, I don't know. I've never been one to believe, I've never been one to believe that myself, you know, even with dealing with depression and just, I've never thought that I myself would be so bogged down by my depression that like, I don't know, I almost lose sight of myself, if that even makes sense. Like, how am I even trying to say this? Oh shit. Hold on. Alright, we're fine. Don't worry about it. Like, to feel so... what am I trying to say here? God, I just... You know, I never would have imagined, like, my depression would have had such a adverse effect on my... like, on me, to a point where, like, my mood almost feels like... I don't know, I almost feel like, oh, I'm never really happy anymore, and, like, that really sucks. I don't want to feel that way. It's stinky poopy doo doo. You know what I'm saying? You'll get it. Like, you got it. But to kind of live, you know, to also learn that, you know, I am, to learn more about myself consistently every day, and to be like, oh yeah, this is kind of how I live my life. This is, you know, how I live my truth and these choices, and I'm trying to get better, but everything's not exactly like 100% better, but that's okay. I'm trying my best. You know what I mean? So like, to really, I don't know, conceptualize it all. God, this room is terrifying. I found it. To really conceptualize and realize like, hey, this is actually me. Really kind of, I don't know, it doesn't suck, it's eye-opening though, and almost kind of frustrating in the same vein, right? Like, I don't know. I do know. No. I do know. So like, there's this idea of normalcy, right? Like, you know, like everybody wants to be normal. Nobody wants like abnormalities about them, especially like from a social standpoint, right? And so, like, I guess I cling to that, you know, as a person who's just like, I want to be normal. Like, I don't know why I packed this. You know what? I'm just having fun. Fuck it. It's fine. That's fine. I just packed the gun and then threw it away. I'm not sure what exactly is wrong with me. Maybe it's the fucking meds. You know what I mean? But I... there's this idea of normalcy, right? And, like, I've always kind of wanted to be, you know, normal. And so, like, to recognize, you know, now that, you know, I do have depressive episodes that sometimes get out of control and, like, are not great, and kind of really suck. And then it's like, I'm not normal, like, I have to deal with this shit. And it's like, I don't know, it almost makes you yearn for, like, this idea of normalcy, like this, I just want to be like everybody else. Like, I just want to vibe, not have to worry about, like, you know, not normal things. Like, I really don't want to have to be like that guy who I have to worry about my mental health all the time. You know, I want to feel like, hey, like, I can just kind of live my life and, you know, nothing, like, I don't have to worry about, oh, well, you know, will my mental health put a damper on the mood, or am I going to be able to just act normally, and, you know, this idea of normal and just live normal, you know, I don't know, it's wishful fucking thinking, in the sense that, you know, again, normal, I don't think really, like, it's this idea, like, the idea of normal exists, but in reality, the idea of normal is unattainable. You know what I mean? I think we as humans live such abnormal lives, and to say that, like, we're striving to just be normal and, you know, not have to deal with, like, you know, societal pressures, you know, mental health, addictions, sadness, you know, etc., etc., etc. It's just unrealistic, but yet we think of it as so realistic. And I don't want to be like, oh, I blame the media, but, you know, sometimes it is what's fed to us. Like, the ideas of normal, like, oh, well, you know, if I do this, then, you know, if I act sweet and innocent, then I will get the boy. But, like, or if I act like big, strong man and suppress my feelings 100%, then I'll get the girl. Like, ladies will love me. I'll be the exemplary male. You know what I mean? And that's not to talk shit about anyone or anything. It's just more like I'm just word vomiting, guys. I'm not trying to. Sorry, I'm just word vomiting, y'all. I'm not trying to call somebody out or put anyone on blast or make people feel some type of way. You know what I mean? Anyway, but, like, there's this normal, like, this normal that's kind of been fed to us. I think that is the Vesper, and I don't think I'm gonna use it for reasons. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I think we strive for this normalcy that just sometimes isn't there, you know, and really will never be there. But we strive for it because we don't want to be, like, abnormal, you know, because abnormal is a bad thing. To be weird or to be out there is a bad thing, you know, when in reality it's not. It's not. Sometimes it's just makes us who we are, you know. Like, it's not inherently a bad thing that, you know, we want to strive to be who we are. Like, as kids, think about it, like, even as, like, young little kids, you know, sometimes you would imagine like really weird stuff and people would be like, what are you doing? And you're just like, I'm having fun. And it wasn't until you got older that like then people were like, you're weird. You're weird for doing that, or that's weird, or that's not normal, you know? It became almost like this thing of, well, that's not a really normal thing to think. And it's like, well, no shit. I mean, what is normal? What normal be, you know? But I don't know. I don't know if anything that I'm saying is making sense in any way, shape, or form of the word. And to be honest, that's okay. I think it's cool. Like, I think it's cool if it just doesn't sometimes make sense. Sometimes it's just, you know, I need everyone to kind of know that, like, there are times where I'll come into this show and, like, I'll try to stick to a topic. And then there are other times where I'll be like, I want that. Funk, I shouldn't have done all this. Hey, stay there. Just stay there, double points. Can you just stay there? Ah, fuck. It's gonna disappear on me. Whack. No, okay. Fine. I gotta insta-kill. Creepy Teddy. Dead Teddy's right in front of me, because that's very normal. Fucking... Alright. Well, it's gone. So, it's fine. I wasn't planning on using it for anything. It's fine. I'm not upset. You're upset. Ugh. But anyway, normal. Normal, I guess. I don't know. I guess what I'm really trying to say is, like, you know, we work so hard to fit into the eye and the gaze of everyone else, but, like, if you're cool with who you are, you're cool with who you are, and just live that fucking life, you know what I mean? Like, again, we live 80 years and then we fucking die. That's it. Like, and you don't get time to, like, reflect or think about, you know, how you could have done this differently or that differently. Like, you just die, you know what I mean? So, in the end, none of it'll matter. Like, I'm not trying to, you know, quote Linkin Park or anything, but, like, in the end, especially when, you know, if you do kick the bucket, like, life is still life, you know? Life still goes on. So, like, to think that I don't wanna. You know, life still goes on even if you kick the bucket. Like, life does not... I don't know. What am I trying to say here? Live your life, you know, enjoy your life. And enjoy the life how you want to live it, not how other people want to see you live it. Because arguably, you know, if you're chasing someone else's perception of you, you're chasing something that's just not real. It, you know, like, you can't become, you know, someone else's perception and vision of you. If you like who you are and you like the life that you live, where did that zombie come from? Yo, everyone chill out. Dude, I got enough skin for everybody. You just gotta come chase me and butter me up. Why am I standing right here? Yay, I know. Long time, been on Xbox. Remember, take break. Brain need break. Yay, I got it. Yay, I got it. Thanks. So yeah, I don't know. Oh, I didn't link the pad. Oh god, I didn't link the pad. I'm running. I'm zooming. I got the zoomies. So yeah. Kinda, yeah, I want this AK-74. Yes, sir! Yo, the AK-74U is one of my favorite guns. May I vent real quick and just say that, like, the AK-74U, one of my favorites. Like, top tier gun, does not get enough love. Love it. Love this gun for what it is. Anywho. So yeah, I mean, I've ranted long enough. You know, because I think a lot of, granted, you know, maybe this is other people's opinions and how other people feel about this kind of stuff, but like, I'm in a field where, you know, someone else's perception is pretty much as stringent on whether I get the job or not. You know, if somebody likes the look, if somebody likes my look, my style, my steez, you know what I mean? Like, they'll be like, "Oh, great, I like that guy. Let's see if we can hire him." But I do want the Man o' War, but I do not want it now. Basically, I'm trying to get that box to move so I can move it and get a better spot because I don't like it there. So if anybody's wondering what the hell I'm doing, that's it. That's the thesis. Antithesis, you know what I mean? Sorry, hold on. Antithesis. No? Cool. Alright. So yeah. Sorry, I think I was probably talking about like 30 different subjects. One of the subjects I was talking about is sometimes I start this show with like an idea and it just develops into like just babbling. Because I'm like, alright, I have an idea of what I'm going to talk about, and then I start talking and I'm like, oh boy, here we go, nothing's going to make sense, but god damn it, we're on this roller coaster. Like, that's just how my brain works. My brain got the stink sometimes, and it's just, sometimes it's just straight up word vomit. So yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. Alright. So, because we live in, whoa, okay. Alright, I guess we're gonna wait for the next map. And we'll talk about it. Honestly, half the zombies, I have no idea where they come from, and I just get hit like 30 different times, and I'm like, okay. Cool, I guess. Goodness, I don't know, but that was fun. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny, but like, sometimes just being able to sit, take a gun, shoot some stuff, not worry about, not give a donk. You know what I'm saying? Not give a donk or a heck or a frick. Just like sitting back, chillaxing, enjoying zombozos, shooting guns. You know what I'm saying? The American way. Where go now? Actually, you know what? I've had dreams about Ascension, okay? Which is creepy. I understand that. Don't look at me that way. Please don't. But I've wanted to play Ascension for a while. But anyway. So, to be a person and living in the year 2020, 2021, etc., 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 the discussion of race has become even more prevalent, which is good. I'm not gonna say like that's a bad thing, or something that shouldn't happen specifically, but I think it's almost like emboldened people to do some of the wildest shit. In the sense of, in the sense, ooh, that's gonna be dangerous because I can't hear. In the sense of, yeah, I think we're gonna take this just. In the sense of people can just kind of like post microaggressions, and like you can see these microaggressions on like live screen and just be like, oh, okay, I guess that's what we're doing today, huh? So for example, there has been, alright, first off, another reason why I'm not getting on Twitter, because there's a lot of like just weird dichotomies of people who are like, I have the hottest, greatest take, and it's like, it's not a hot or great take that you're posting online right now at all. In fact, it's really bad. So one of these takes that I will be referring to, is someone posted something along the lines of, the Rosa Parks story gets really complicated when you find out the man who asked her for her seat. Something along the lines of, when you find out that the man who asked her for her seat had like anxiety and ADHD. And I, as a black person, and like, who I will also say that I'm fairly unbiased with like my opinions, right? Like, I don't think that, you know, I'm fully biased and like only believe this thing and am not willing to listen to other people's thoughts or opinions. But I'm going to be very upfront with you. This had to be the dumbest take I've heard in a while. Like, in a while. Right? Because, yes, sure, even, Rosa Parks was not sitting in a designated seat, and I suppose you could argue, yes, this man did have anxiety, and the narrative, this man did have anxiety and ADHD, and I guess you could argue that the narrative did change, you know, once you quote-unquote realize that. Here's the thing, though. Oh, I'm not gonna live if I do that. That wasn't smart. Oh, fuck. Why didn't I get a gun? Oh, I'm a dummy. I'm a fool. Oh, I'm a fool. Stop. Stop. No, because if I get the door, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna become a livent. Oh. Anyway, talking about the Rosa Parks thing. One could argue that yes, the narrative does change when you come into, like, you realize that that the man who heckled and told Rosa Parks to get up from her seat, did have anxiety and ADHD, but the problem with the whole narrative still stands. Like, it's almost worse in a sense. Because honestly, I think this person then used their disability and their privilege to then kind of force this person, you know, force this black woman who honestly was not bothering anybody at that point in time. I mean, depending on who you ask, of course, but like, in my opinion, wasn't really bothering anybody. She sat down. She wasn't like causing a ruckus, bothering anybody, etc., etc., etc. But then was told, like, hey, you know, like, get up out of your seat. I want that seat. You know what I mean? And openly and willingly using their privilege to really get what they want. Like, you know, abusing their privilege and, you know, their disability to really get what they want. It's kind of how it read. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, okay, I see it, I get it, I hear you. This is still shitty no matter how you look at it. You know what I mean? Like, you can say, oh, it's not that shit. Like, the narrative completely changed, and it's like, it doesn't really change. It's still not a great narrative. And the fact that you're trying to push it and be like, oh, well, you know, this, I don't know, the fucking. Anyway, really what I'm trying to say is Twitter be wildin', right? Just from like that one story. And that's just one example. My other example, oh yeah, hold on. Look, it's Twitter, y'all. We talking about Twitter. I got so many, look, I got so many stories. I'm about to drown in stories, all right? Actually, this one was Instagram. So there is this Instagram collage where I believe a couple took their wedding photos in an antebellum South style wedding theme. And if y'all don't know about the antebellum South, I would love to educate you. The antebellum South mainly had to do with the aspect of slavery, the slaves, slave owners, separation of, oh wait, hold on, the monkey comes. I must stop the monkey. Monkeys. They scream. I won't jump down because I'm actually kind of afraid that the thing is going to kill me. In fact, I'm gonna duck just in case. Cool, made it. Oh, the monkey. Oh, the monkey fight. Oh, I don't have my perk anymore. Shit. I also can't hear the monkeys. This is terrifying. The monkeys have such a small hitbox. The monkey's chain. The monkey's fist. The monkey. But yeah, so, you know, antebellum South is, you know, quintessential slavery, Dixie, etc., etc., etc. You know, the South shall rise again, etc., etc., etc. I need to buy this perk again. Thank you. You need a little revive. Oh, ultra refreshing. Thank you. Very cool. But anyway, so this couple, a black man and a white woman, took a picture together where the black man was dressed as a slave. Whether that was his choice or not doesn't really matter to me. And then the white woman was dressed as a Southern belle. And so there is this trope, I guess. Trope is I don't know if trope is the right word. But there is this trope of like white women, especially in the antebellum South, taking advantage of black slaves and either having some kind of relation with them, where they will pretty much use them, and regardless of whether the slave wants to or not, and then if, you know, on the chance that, you know, the slave says no, they will make up a quote-unquote narrative, pretty much, you know, putting a layer of guilt on the slave, and pretty much being like, well, ha ha ha, you know, like, ha ha ha, he did this, because, you know, it's then it becomes like the issue of credit, right? Like, who believes whom? And at that point, it's kind of like, well, you know, you can't, you know, you're not going to go up against your wife, or you're not going to say something against this white woman, because why would this white woman be wrong? You know what I mean? So it's real doo-doo, and it's real doo-doo, not great. But that is the whole narrative of pretty much, I guess, like, you know, the trope of white women using quote-unquote black men, specifically, like, you know, in the period of slavery, and kind of using them as their playthings, because they're like, well, I can do whatever I want to you, because, you know, if you try to fight back, well, then I can just have, you know, my slave, your slave master, pretty much punish you in some way, shape, or form. And there's not much you can say against that, because if you do, again, you'll be punished and whipped, and I'll be like, oh, well, that's what happened, and, you know, I'll kind of just shrug my shoulders. I'll be fine, but you'll be in trouble. You know what I mean? So, anyway, back to this fucking photo, right? Really, it wasn't even, oh god. I am not in a great place. Mentally, physically, in-game. Oh. I'm alive. How am I in round 7 and just without Jug? I'm a madman. Oh yeah, I'll take that. Yes sir. Yes sir. But anyway, it's kind of, anyway, this collage of photos. So there's one picture where, like, the black man is wearing shackles. There's one where the caption is like, he's not a slave anymore, he's family, and I'm like, it's 2021. What made you think he was a slave, period? Also, like, slaves and slave owners have always been like a higher and lower hierarchy. Like, it's, you know, for the most part, it's kind of like a caste system. So why do you think that this person that you are going to marry is in some way, shape, or form lower than you? Like, where do you get off that is acceptable to think? Like, this person is a person, man. Like, how, where in your mind were you like, oh, this is a good idea? Like, this is a perfect idea. Like, he'll love this. I'll love this. It'll look cute. Like, the internet definitely won't blow up today about it. And that's exactly what happened. Like, the internet just kind of blew up. Like, it was kind of like, what the fuck? Like, why would you think of doing this? Like, really, on both of their parts. Not even like, oh, you know, this white woman talked him into it. And it's like, nah, like, if you willingly are like, yeah, let's do this. Like, it's not just a, oh yeah, well, she talked me into it kind of thing. Like, this sounds like you wanted to do it. You know what I mean? Which is layers of fucked up. Oh, fuck that. I had a gap. When they say you don't have gap, but you have gap, it's just baby gap. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's fine. I'm fine. This is fine. We're doing fine. Don't worry about it. Fuck. Not poggers. Okay, I guess. But anyway, I guess, I don't know, my biggest, largest thing about, like, all of this is just, like, the audacity that kind of comes down in this thing where everybody's like, oh, well, you know, this is acceptable, this is fun. Oh, it's not a monkey round. It's not a monkey round, and I realized that very late. Anyway, it's fine. Everything's fine. We're fine. Don't worry about it. I'm not sweating. You're sweating. Sweaty. and it's just, it's interesting that, like, that was weird. It's interesting that, like, even these simple nuances and these simple, like, undertones are not picked up by some people, and it's just like, oh yeah, we're just having fun, this is cute. Like, it's like, this isn't cute. Like, slavery specifically is not exactly a cute topic. It messed up lives, you know? And so, like, me, myself, and I, as a black person, I always kind of, like, conceptually think about, like, you know, my race, how people perceive me. Oh my god. You know, we're returning back to this conversation. How people perceive me, like, my race, you know, my skin color, etc., 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 because if for the most part, it is my identity. Like, people look at me and say, oh yeah, he's black. You know what I mean? Like, the first thing that people think, it's like, oh yeah, he's a black guy. You know, and that's not exactly the bad thing. In fact, I would argue that it's never, like, a bad thing. That, like, the first thing people see about you is your skin color. Like, we've kind of been conditioned that way to kind of just view skin color first and other stuff later. Which isn't, I mean, it's not like the golden way to live your life, you know what I mean? Like, I think, you know, you should probably notice, I don't know, something else about a person before just going straight to color. But it's such a vital and important part of, you know, my identity as a black person. And I kind of think, you know, all the time, specifically, like, whenever I'm about to do something, or, like, if my, you know, my friends are like, hey, let's do this, like, hey, let's go fucking, I don't know, like, get into some heinous trouble or whatever. Like, doesn't that sound like fun? And I'm like, not entirely. It kind of sounds risky. Oh no, the apes. Oh, the apes. I have to get the jug. I have to get the jug. I don't have enough money to rebuy jug. I must get the jug. Lander. Lander, hurry up. Hurry up. I am running. I am gunning. I am a runny, shooty boy. I am running and shooting. Oh, don't you take my jug. Oh, you freak. Oh my god, their hitbox is, like, so fucking tiny. Okay, there we are. But yeah, so for me, like, you know, my race is so much part of my identity that, like, for some people to be like, oh yeah, this is such a cute little cutesy joke, and, like, you know, there's nothing bad about something like this, and it's like, there's so much bad about this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, there's so much bad about this. The implications are endless about this, and for you to make it just seem like, oh, this is just an innocent joke and it's cute, it's not that big of a deal. It's like, no, it's huge. It's huge. Like, do people still think of me as, like, kind of like a lesser slave being? Like, that's not, for me, that's not fun at all. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of hurtful, you know? And so it sucks. It sucks, you know? It sucks. Oh, there's zombies behind me. I must slide. Launch the rocket. Launch the rocket, Kronk. Oh no, I think my controllers are dying. There are times where I can tell if my controller is dying if, like, it stops vibrating. And it does. It, like, kind of continues vibrating, but also then stops vibrating. So it's just kind of like, oh, well, you know, I'm trying my best, but I can't do everything. But I don't know. Race for me is so vitally important because, like, you know, I, as a black person, I who identify as a black, me and my black persona, spelled P-L-A-C-K, not to get it twisted. It's so important to me. Like, you know, this is just who the fuck I am. And so, like, for other people to be like, oh yeah, there's nothing bad about this Joker. There's nothing, like, hateful or spiteful about this. It's just like, oh, cool. Like, I think this is cute and neat. And it's like, this is my race you're talking about. Like, this is my identity you're calling cute. Like, there's nothing cute about slavery, and so, like, to almost romanticize it in some way, it's just real gross. It ain't great. It's, as the youths say, it's not a good look. Sweaty. It's anti-sweetie and pro-sweaty. A pro-sweaty move, if you will. No, stop hitting me. Stop hitting me. Hit yourself. Loser. No. The zombies, they strong. They're like, oh, okay, bless. Oh, I will take an insta-kill any day. Come here. So anyway, I just think twice before you're about to do like a fucking plantation wedding, anything about really slavery in any way, shape, or form, and be like, oh, we want this to be romantic, cute, or funny. Like, what is her name? I think it's Rachel Adams. I also just don't give a shit. I don't think it's Rachel Adams. It's her first name is Rachel. Anyway, my girlfriend and I have gotten sucked into The Bachelor. The Bachelor / Bachelorette series, right? And there was this first black man named Matt James who was on the show. And I sympathize in some ways with Matt James, but in other ways, I'm like, dude, you were no thoughts head empty sometimes, and it showed. It showed, you know what I mean? Like, anyway, he picked a, so if you know what The Bachelor is, or if you don't, I'm going to explain it to you. The Bachelor, or The Bachelorette, is where, one man or woman, because they really focus on sex, picks a cast of women or men, and through a multi-week process. I don't want to say like a certain number of weeks, because really it's it can be any number of weeks. It's not specific at all. Basically, all of these people date. So all of these men are dating this one woman, and all of these women are dating one man. And it's kind of like an elimination show where, you know, after a while or after a week of dates, a certain number of women or men are sent home if there is no compatible relationship. And so, going back to this first Black Bachelor, the first Black Bachelor, who's actually, I believe, biracial. Yes, right? I guess I don't want to say Bachelor of Color, because I don't think that's true either. But I don't know that for sure. Somebody will probably correct me. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But anyway, with the first Black Bachelor, wound up picking someone who was involved in an antebellum South party. And again, we just explained antebellum South. And it did not go over well, as it shouldn't have, because she basically didn't really have an explanation. She was like, you know, I didn't really think about it, you know, like, I feel bad, yada yada yada, and gave this apology. But you could see that Matt, who was the first Black Bachelor and who this meant so much to, really felt bad about it, because this was the person he picked to fall in love with. And for her to openly go to a antebellum South party where they kind of glorified racism and etc 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 kind of stung. And so they had a really rocky relationship just to kind of start off, and quote unquote took a break for a while, and then ultimately, oh, awesome, that was the perk I was gonna buy. Hell yeah. Yo, that's as the kids call poggers. Sorry, let me use a better phrase, because I think poggers is outdated. I think I mean based. Based God, if you will. But anyway, so she apologized, national television. We were all like, okay. But oh, yikes. Yikes. Oh my god, there's so many. That's okay, we hit that hour mark anyway. But it did not go over well with the with Matt, and they had a really rocky relationship. They kind of spent time away from each other, and then they finally reconnected. And basically that's not really the point. It's still like the point of, like, you know, the oversight of thinking, hey, this won't offend anybody. Hey, this won't be, like, you know, crude or inappropriate in any way, shape, or form. Like, this is just, you know, it's just a party. Anyway. It just sucked. So yeah. Anyway. I don't know. Feels. Race is important. Dude, our identity is important. My identity is important. Your identity is important. Sometimes really just considering, hey, maybe I shouldn't do shit like that is important to consider. It's not a bad thing to think about, and I hope, you know, all of you are, I don't know, doing the same in some way, shape, or form, and like thinking, hey, maybe I shouldn't say this racist thing out loud, or maybe I shouldn't think this racist thing or do this. I don't know. Anyway, really what I'm trying to say, these are just my thoughts, people. They're just my thoughts, and I just really wanted to express them with you. So that wraps it up with us. Thanks for bringing my day from like a 4 to like a solid 6.5. This meant a lot to me, and like I started off this entire recording just being like, this is gonna suck. This is 100% gonna suck. I'm going to ramble for hours. None of it's going to make sense. Everybody's going to hate me. Nobody's going to watch this, etc., etc., etc. Which, funnily enough, is a monologue that I hear in my head all the time. But just by being here, you made it better. So I appreciate that. So, if you like this content, make sure you hit that like button. Also, hit that subscribe button. Also, leave a comment. I want you to leave a comment along the lines of what was the best part about your day and what was the not so best part about your day. Or if you just want to leave like a number and be like, hey, this is how I'm feeling today, like 7 or 10. God bless you if you are 10. Or if you're feeling a 1 and you know, you just want to ask for some insight around people and just kind of get other people's thoughts or even my thoughts, that's fine. I don't know, leave a comment, interact, be joyous, be homies. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up here. So it's your boy Easy Reg signing off. Peace.